Well, hello, guys. You know, I've been getting I've been putting a few videos up to do with photography and my camera equipment and so forth. And subsequently, I've had quite a large number of people sending me personal messages and leaving comments and stuff, asking, you know, what would you recommend? Since they can see I was very indecisive for my videos, if they've been following me, and I went through a bunch of cameras. I did a lot of work researching cameras and so forth, and I have found that I can't recommend a camera for you, for anybody else. So I thought I'd do more of a general philosophical type video on that subject. And I think what it really boils down to is, you know, there are three different types of cameras, and really with cell phones and film cameras and slide cameras and stuff, there's a lot more than that. But really, you know, for 95% of the people, there are three types of cameras. Okay, for number one, there is the point and shoot camera. That's very small, it'll fit in your pocket. These days, they are not expensive. They have good still picture ability and good video, HD video capability. The next is the prosumer. Now, this isn't a very good example since this is from 2002, 8 years ago, and it was one of the first bridge cameras made. This is a long zoom. The bridge cameras are like point and shoot cameras, but they have all that incorporated, a few more options, a little more control, and a long zoom. And they have larger bodies. And this is actually one of the smaller ones. It was one of the first ones. In fact, as a side note, it was one of the first bridge cameras there was. It has a 1 1/4 inch LCD screen and uses smart media cards. This is a 16 megabyte card. They don't make them any bigger than 128 megabytes. They don't even make them anymore. But anyway, this is obsolete. But it is one of the first bridge cameras. So that's the second category. The point and shoot, the bridge camera or prosumer camera, and then the digital SLR camera, which I'm shooting this video with. So, you know, I went through some of the attractions about the point and shoot. They're small, and you can just point and shoot. And then these are larger, but you have a longer zoom. You can be in one place and get up close without having to walk up close. You know, for wildlife or any number of different things. And then the DSLR, which is for enthusiasts who want to, number one, have the money to buy one of those, to buy a DSLR, and want to interchange lenses, use filters, buy accessories, have the best image quality possible, but they are even bigger than the, you know, the prosumer type cameras. So, with all that, the three types, point and shoot, you know, prosumer, and digital SLR, instead of asking someone, you know, what camera should I buy, what you need to do is ask yourself, I think. You need to ask yourself, what am I going to be doing with this camera once I buy it? You know, am I going to be going to indoor sports events for my kids? Am I instead going to be documenting, just documenting every moment of my life. I want to have something small to carry around. Am I going to be taking pictures of my inventory from my small business to make a website and have all the pictures so people can look at them? Am I going to be going out and shooting landscape pictures out into the desert or up into the mountains and trying to get good landscapes? All that are questions you need to ask yourself first, and narrow it down to one of those three categories of camera. And then when you get through deciding, you know, for the most part, what category of camera you need, then that's the time to go online to somewhere like DP Review or any number of other places. There's a lot of review sites that actually categorize the reviews in point and shoot, prosumer, and DSLR. And they'll have the top 5 or 10 recommendations in those three categories. That's a good way to do it. So you can narrow it down to within a couple of different cameras before you ever even go to the store to buy. So you're not, so, you know, what happens to a lot of people, I think, is they just think, boy, I'd like a digital camera. Go to the camera store, they get an impulse buy, and they get a camera that doesn't suit their needs, then they're out $300, and they really hardly ever use the camera. They find it hard to use, or they find it too limiting, or it's not good for indoor shots in low light, or it's not good for mounting on a tripod and shooting pictures of wildlife. So if you just ask yourself those questions and figure out what category camera you need, then get online, get some good recommendations that are up to date on the specific cameras that are the best selling or have the best features or are getting the best ratings from people who do use them, and then go to the camera shop or the online retailer and go from there and buy. I think you'll get a lot better tool, and you'll have a lot more fun in your hobby if it's a hobby, or you'll find that it's a lot easier for you to document your life or your kids, or if it's for work, you'll find it, if you've done your research, you'll find it's easier for you to get your job done. So that's what I recommend, instead of asking someone, even if that someone is very knowledgeable and could give you good recommendations. I think first of all you have to ask yourself and do just a little research, find out which category you're in, and go from there. So with that, this video has probably gone on too long, but I do want to recommend one thing. Just today, my YouTube friend Knox, YouTube user knoxtech.com, did his review on the Canon SX20IS, which is a prosumer type long zoom camera with lots of options, great image quality, great HD video quality, and if you're interested, if you find yourself in that category of a large camera, bulky camera with a long zoom, and that's what you feel you need or want, then check out his review. He does a good job pointing out the good and bad about that camera, and even makes another recommendation at the end for a different one in the same category. So check out his review if you find yourself interested in the prosumer type. And again, narrow yourself down to the point and shoot, prosumer, digital SLR, then go from there, do some research, then buy, and you'll be a happier camper. So, guys, have a great day. We'll be talking to you real soon.